Just kidding. Hi everybody, welcome to Big C's Entertainment, and I am Big C. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody who watched, like, and shared. I'm not gonna lie, y'all had me so excited, and the people who gave me criticism and feedback, thank you. I know I rambled a lot last week and I couldn't form my thoughts, but that's how I talk. Like, if you ever held a conversation with me, bro, I'm gonna start off on one subject and I'm gonna veer off into another. But I could understand how confusing that could be when you're trying to do a podcast. By the way, this might get on podcast. But I'm not gonna lie, I really appreciate you guys taking the time out to support me. Like, I can't feel more blessed. I'm not gonna cap. Like, I just thank y'all. Don't make me cry. Give me a second. Okay. I'm a real nigga. Alright. So, let's get into today's topic. Last week we talked about lack of parental love and how it affects us in our relationships. This week I want to talk about growing up and unlearning life as I knew it. What I mean by that is the more mature I get and the older I get and the more self-aware I become, a lot of my patterns that I learned from a kid and from other adults, not a good thing. I realized that I was raised by a bunch of kids, point one. I realized that I had to unlearn a lot of beliefs. And I also realized that I was very aggressive and I was running away from a lot of hard conversations. I'm not even gonna say the last one for real. Yeah. With certain people I did. I'm not gonna lie. But it was kind of in fear of losing that person. And a couple of people I did lose when I did go to have that conversation. And I always try to go back and be like, well, maybe I could have did things differently, but at the time I used the tools that I had. It is what it is. It didn't work out. So, point number one, realizing I was raised by a bunch of kids. Now, what that means is most of the adults in my family are non-accountability taking. They don't know how to communicate. They be manipulative. And they don't listen. They don't. That's probably all the adults in my family. Some take accountability. Some know how to communicate. But they all just don't listen. Just hard-headed. But anyways, growing up, I had to realize that. And when I realized that I literally had to start from scratch. I had to learn new tools. I had to learn and develop new tools. And what I mean by tools, I mean like communication tools. And I use one of them today. Me and my brother, I practiced this argument with my brother for 3 days. Not gonna lie. We have been feeling we've been having some tension towards the other. I'm not even gonna cap. So I practiced this argument in my head for 3 days just to lose the argument. I'm not gonna lie. I got all my points out. I am not gonna cap. Everything I wanted to say, I laid it all out. So, but in this argument, about 5 minutes of it, we was just talking over each other. And we was talking in circles. Like, not getting nowhere. And when we realized it, we literally had to sit there. I gave him the floor. He said what he had to say. He gave me the floor.
You got the floor.
Do I have the floor? Do I?
Yes, you do.
I said what I had to say. Just for us to realize it was all a miscommunication. Literally, it was all just a miscommunication. It honestly was. And me being extra sensitive, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still working on that. Because like my biggest problem is, and I still have to unlearn, is that sometimes people do things to you and you can't take it personal. And a lot of times I take stuff mad personal because I wouldn't have did that to them. And sometimes I be like, I don't do that to them. So I'm still learning a balance between standing on my boundaries and learning when I'm overreacting. That's the tough balance. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like I'm still trying to learn when I'm standing on my boundaries and when I'm being too sensitive and overreacting. Like that is a thin line, especially as a person who lacked boundaries. I lacked a lot of boundaries growing up. And that was because of the adults that I had in my life. Like they just, I'm the adult. I'm right. You wrong. I had to learn a lot of them was wrong. Wrong as hell. Wrong as fuck. Like don't even got proper tools to be a good adult today. You know what I'm saying? And learning that, I literally felt like, I literally still feel like I'm baking a cake and I'm still like adding ingredients and taking out ingredients and putting the cake in the oven and the cake falling. Now I gotta start from scratch. Like I'm literally, that's me. Like I'm constantly working on myself and I'm not perfect at all. Not as much as my delusion allow me to be. I'm not. Like I'm still learning a lot of things. I'm still learning healthy communication. I'm still learning to literally, one thing about it, when you are having an issue with somebody, it's not you versus that person. It's you and that person versus the problem. Because that's what y'all trying to solve, the problem. This is what y'all are trying to attack, the problem. Because this problem is, you know what I'm saying, it's causing a rift between y'all and y'all bond. So me, I still have to remember that. And I still have to get rid of this sense of always wanting to be right. But when I be digging down in myself, that always want to be right came from being a kid and not being heard, or saying something and nobody listened to me, and I just wanted to be right so bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just wanted people to understand my side. So I was right and the other person was wrong. It don't matter what you say, you wrong, I'm right. And I still have to get out of that. I still catch myself. And I'm probably at about a good, it take me about an hour, not even an hour. It would take me about an hour, because I would have a 30-minute conversation, probably 45-minute conversation with myself. Then I will call other people, tell them the situation, and tell both sides. And that's another thing a lot of people don't do. A lot of people do not fully tell both sides. They skim over what they did and then they just try to make the other person look bad. Like I dealt with a lot of that growing up. Like I'm not gonna lie. With a lot of adults in my life, I dealt with that, the manipulation. So I tell both sides what happened, how I said it, how it was said, and they would tell me, you did wrong. Now I gotta go and apologize because I'm dead wrong. But a lot of people don't do that. They don't. A lot of people don't do that. But me as a person, I'm still growing and I'm still realizing a lot of myself, and I'm still becoming the woman that I want to be. I also had to realize I was mad aggressive. And that was one of the biggest reasons why I started therapy. That and the fact that I did not have a good relationship with my parents, and I didn't want to have kids and not know how to connect with my kids. So I remember one of my friends had told me, I remember I had told them, like, I was like, I want to go to therapy. And one of my friends was like, I don't think you should go because I think it's going to send you down a whirlwind and bring up stuff that you don't need to bring up and make you very depressed. And boy, was she wrong. It did not make me depressed. And I heard this from a pastor too, and it hit with me because you cannot heal what you won't reveal. You can't. God can't heal what you won't reveal. So I was mad aggressive. And I had to get down to the reason of why I was so aggressive. And I learned it was because I didn't have no protection growing up. I'm going to be very transparent. I had to fight my own father. I did. So, and a lot of times it was adults that stood there. It was only probably like my auntie that would fight me with him. And a lot of other people just stood there. You know, and then also even with other adults in my family, they would do things that was wrong. And when I would stand up for myself, you know, I became disrespectful or it was a problem. So, and I had a lot of anger from mistreatment. And over time, like, oh, and not getting apologies. Like, that's another thing too. Like, if you know you're wrong, just apologize. It's a lot of apologies that I still didn't get to this day. And I learned that it made me mad, aggressive, and I was angry about a lot of things. I was angry that I wasn't loved correctly. I was angry that I wasn't heard correctly. I was angry that I had to always protect myself. I was angry that I always had to be on guard. And a lot of this stuff I did not realize until I revealed those wounds. I'm not even gonna cap. Like, I had to take that little bandage that was off of it. And I had to let that wound breathe, baby. I had like a lot of wounds that I had to reveal so they could be healed. Like, I really did. And basically when you when you unwrap them wounds, you know what I'm saying, and you ain't even properly taking care of them, you just cover them up, baby. When you go to clean them out, it hurt. I had to, and I'm trying not to get emotional again. Like, I learned a lot of truths about myself, and I learned it was stuff that I didn't even know, like, that happened like a long time ago that I didn't even realize affected me as bad. And I feel like it's helping me grow as a person, and it's helping me mature more, and it's helping me become more understanding and more forgiving. Like, I'm so forgiving towards a lot of adults in my lives. Some of them, they can go to hell. I'm not gonna cap. Some of them can, but a lot of them, I sit there and I just become more understanding of their situations and them using the tools that they had to navigate through life as they knew it, but they just didn't want to do the work. I'm gonna say this: it's easier to stay broken. I am not gonna lie. Going through a healing journey, baby, that take work, because you have to be honest with yourself. I am constantly holding myself accountable. I am. But in return, I'm also holding a lot of other people accountable too, because, and I might have to stop this. I want everybody to grow. I want everybody to grow and see error in their actions and to learn to unlearn those actions. So, like, it's a thin line for real between like standing on your boundaries and knowing when you overreacting. Like, I'm that is a hard balance for me because I'm so sensitive. But growing up and, like, realizing, like, okay, these adults wasn't always right. Like, it was a lot of things that I learned and a lot of things that I was taught that I was just like, yeah, that wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot of stuff like, no. Like, I had to, like, completely turn my head. Like, literally start from scratch and navigate adulthood with basically nothing to go off of. But the fact that I have to now undo everything that was instilled in me, that's a hard thing. It's so much easier to just remain the person that I was 3 years ago. I don't even want to be that person that I was 3 years ago. Like, I'm not even gonna cap. She was so broken. She was so broken. She ain't love herself. She ain't hold herself accountable. She just like, nah, baby, I think the word of myself. Like, ain't nothing nobody can tell me. Period. But like, I'm not gonna lie, like, and it all 3 years of growth is beautiful. And what I love about it is I can correct myself. That's the only thing I really honestly have to work on. Because I know I'm not going to be perfect by far. And I still have to learn how to process when people hurt me. That is one thing, like, I used to be mad aggressive about. Like, I used to be mad. Like, as soon as somebody hurt me, I'm just rah, rah, rah. Like, now I just get silent. And I think it might be bad too, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to process. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand, okay, did I do something? Or, you know what I'm saying, did they perceive something wrong? Or, like, so as soon as somebody hurt me, like, I just get real quiet. And I say something, but it just be in my mind, and it just keep playing. So I'm trying to get better at that. And I'm trying to get better at over talking people. I got that bad too. I have that very bad. Like, but it just comes from a place of, like, as soon as I think of something, I just have to say it. So, but I just, it's a lot. I'm gonna just end it because I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired. I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. I might drop a part 2. I waited so late to record, but working where I work is real ghetto. And I just be so tired when I get off work. But anyways, I love y'all. Please, comments, share, feedback, criticism from love. But until next time, peace.